What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Chris, as always with me,
Liam.
And today we are diving into episodes 7 and 8 of Bad Monkey on Apple TV. And you are not a cat person. Although you are, I'm not.
I like cats. Cats don't like me.
I don't think I like anybody.
No, allergy-wise.
Oh, I was gonna say, cats don't like anybody. They just they put up with people.
I like all animals, even some really weird ones that people find disgusting. I think possums are cute and stuff like that.
I have a love for all animals, but I'm not keeping certain ones in my home.
Right, fair enough.
Yeah, but so we left off with the kidnapping of the Dragon Queen. We were kind of theorizing what we thought might happen with that.
I was so pissed when I saw what happened because I was like, oh, that's right. He watched the whole fucking thing.
I still didn't give it away. I just, it's all good.
I kind of hinted towards it.
Listen, I'm good at planting seeds, but I'm not going to give you the answers. But here's the thing. It wasn't Egg, obviously. They didn't trust Egg to do it, was what the narrator said. And so he had an opportunity. Nick, the one-armed man, who I just put two and two together, is from Deadpool. He's freaking Peter from Deadpool. I didn't realize that. I'm slow to take right now for some, just getting through it. But anyway, he, kidnaps her and then makes that, really weird, awkward joke, still got it, can still kidnap a woman. And it's like, whoa, dude. But anyway.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, even Eve was like, yeah, you should probably just shut up and leave now. Yeah. But it actually turns out to work in her favor, right? Because now she flexed, Eve flexed. They're kind of on some weird, unbalanced ground, but they're at least working together and they're not trying to kill each other. So I thought that was an interesting.
For now.
For now, yeah, but that's where it is.
And she bribed her with $50K.
Yep.
I do like a scene, I think it was shortly after that, or because they kind of blend together for me. But when she calls her a bitch and she goes, finally a compliment.
Yeah.
I did like that.
That's later when they're on the boat, but yeah.
And then shortly after that, she goes and spends some of her ill-gotten gains on a very thoughtful gift for her grandmother.
Does she buy that? I thought that was another gift from Eve, because Nick's original scam was selling those things. So he has them around, right? So he has them.
Does he
has
have
access to them. I think so. I don't think she buys it. I think it's a gift, because Eve says, come with me. I've got something to show you. I've got something for you. And then she follows her. So I think it was just another cherry on top of the 50K.
Okay.
I don't think she spent part of the 50K she gave her on it, because she still has the 50K later.
That would make more sense.
Yeah. That's how, and because the Christopher character already has a connection to that, I just was like, oh, she gave it to her.
No, let us know.
Yeah, for sure. But really shortly after that, her friend Asia actually sees her with the Dragon Queen with Eve, kind of calls her on her bullshit. She's like, I've known you too long. I know that you're up to no good, that you're, breaking your moral code. She basically tells her to leave her the fuck alone. Who the fuck are you? Gets her freaking store trashed because she won't stop running her mouth behind the Dragon Queen's back.
She didn't want that, though.
Well, it's behind the Dragon Queen's back for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. But Egg still did it because he's all about whoever's paying him. So.
All right. So she is in heavy conflict in this time right now, the Dragon Queen.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought it was really cool to find out that she's not even a believer.
Doesn't even believe her own, her own magic,
She just thinks she's a scam artist.
Yeah, she thinks she's been running scams with her grandma her whole life. Well, that's what she says to her grandma anyway.
Yeah.
But her grandma doesn't believe that. No. Not at all. And that's ultimately, too, I think, losing her grandma's support is going to be the beginning of the ultimate downfall of the Dragon Queen, right? Because having her grandmother around kind of kept her in line, kind of kept her in a moral place. But now that she's gone, I wonder how far off that moral compass she's going to fall.
Or she may self-correct.
She may. Right now, she's destroying altars and doing all sorts of craziness. We'll see.
But fuck, I don't trust you right now because you've seen the whole thing. And
I can't lead you. I'm just throwing out questions for you and the audience.
That's funny, though. It's making me doubt when I'm saying something because you already have previous knowledge around it. So I'm just like, fuck.
Let's just say I'm incredibly forgetful, especially right now. I'm in a fog these last weeks. So maybe I don't know. Maybe I've forgotten. Who knows?
All right. So then we run into Bonnie.
Bonnie's back.
Yep.
Dude,
Didn't get very far.
no, and she's in a extreme existential crisis right now. She's like, should I kill myself? Should I turn myself in? What does it all mean? Thinks about feeding herself to an alligator, but then she was like, nah, that's not the way I want to go.
I feel like this is an important time for you to explain the difference between alligator and crocodile, since you have that knowledge.
I mean, is it though?
I don't know. I figured you can take the opportunity to go ahead and talk about that real quick, because I always come up with second guessing myself. Was it an alligator or crocodile?
It was definitely an alligator. Yeah.
Okay.
So the rounded snout in the front, that's, especially being in Florida, it's American alligator.
Okay.
The crocodile has more of a long pointed snout, so they could tell the difference. Especially like if it was like an American, it would look very different. But anyway, the Bonnie thing is kind of cool, and she's officially like snapped. Like she's officially like, fuck it, I'm gonna do something crazy. And what she ends up doing, I thought was epic. Like, what a way to like send up a flare, like, hey, come get me.
Oh, the foreshadowing.
Yeah.
We didn't even get back to the part of, what was it? Her going to the storage unit.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
She's going through this big speech of why she did what she did and all this stuff. None of us could even hear it, because it was from the perspective of that detective chick, the one that's hunting her down, and she's got no audio on that damn camera.
She's just in the camera, like throwing.
And
her arms
because
around,
we were watching it from her perspective, we didn't get to see the awesome monologue she was doing.
yeah, no, it was a silent performance.
Yeah, it's frustrating because I really want to know what she was saying.
Yeah, no, that whole arc is very interesting to watch. Just how it turns out, why the cops chasing her, what the actual outcome of that whole situation is. It's very interesting to watch, like Bonnie's little arc she gets.
Yes, and the fact that she's turning herself in and she gets arrested and starts heading towards Oklahoma.
Yep, gets to Oklahoma, turns right back around.
All right, now we got to catch up with Yancy.
Mr. Yancy
When he
just got
was
his
Roe.
he just got his badge back.
No, before the badge.
No, he should have it back. Oh no, sorry, got you. Yep.
Before the badge.
So they're on a stakeout. Yeah, him and Roe.
Because that's the whole thing with the cat thing.
Yeah.
Right?
So that he has a very specific type of cat. Mendez, the dirty cop, has a very specific type of cat that apparently he loves more than his own family. And so Yancy gets this information, uses it on his hunch, one of his many hunches that Roe makes fun of him for, and they go on the stakeout. So they're staking out basically this, like, I don't know if it's a vet clinic or if it's like a shelter, not a shelter, but like a boarding house for animals. But either way, they're staking it out. And so Mendez shows up.
Yes. And during that time period while we're waiting for Mendez to show up, I know this is at the beginning, but Roe had to swallow his pride and apologize, which was, I feel like, a whole big step for him, because he doesn't like doing that.
And in true, I guess, we'll call it Yancy fashion at this point, because that's the character we're talking about, says, that felt good, didn't it? Like, I needed to hear that, but I think you needed to say it more than I needed to hear it. Just fucking with him, because that's just who he is. I thought that was great. Great way to, like, break that up and, like, go back to the banter that he normally has.
And then fast forward just a few minutes to them running into Mendez, where they attempt to throw the cuffs on him.
Well, they get him cuffed. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He gets out of it, right?
Yeah, they get him cuffed, and then they throw him with
bobby pin.
They throw him in the back, and then he picks the cuffs. Yeah.
Yeah, but before they get into the car, Yancy makes that joke. Oh, already called ahead and had the cat put down.
Yeah.
Bro was like, "That's too far, dude."
That was fucked up. No. Yeah, I'm just kidding, But yeah, that was cool. That was a nice little jab right there to him, making him think the one thing in the world he loves is already dead. That was cold, Yancy. Cold stuff. But yeah, so they get in a little bit of an argument about who wants to drive, which gives Mendez just enough time to pick his cuffs so that when they get in the car and they're talking, Mendez is able to grab Roe's gun, and then there's a fight ensues, slight fight. I would say it's more of a hold off. Everyone's trying to get a hold of the gun, and Roe gets shot in the leg. So then Yancy pursues him, and we run into an old character again.
That security guard was great.
Donald. He hypes Donald up every time he sees him. Yeah, and so Donald takes a bullet, and so does Mendez. And I'm pretty sure Mendez is dead. Where he took that bullet, I'm pretty sure that was a pretty fatal wound. But it's also Hollywood, and he could just be down.
I thought you got it in the shoulder.
And maybe. I don't remember seeing him later in the episode. Did we see him again?
I don't recall.
I don't recall seeing him again. So.
I still think he got it just to the shoulder, though.
Like I said, it could be Hollywood, but it looked to me like that was like right in the heart. But anyway.
All right. So I thought it was fascinating how even though there was an active cop, that Donald did choose Yancy over him.
Donald didn't know what to choose. That's why Donald got shot. But yeah, no, he definitely could tell that, Yancy was being more genuine. And so he was very reluctant, but still pulled his gun off of Mendez long enough to get himself shot. But yeah.
Oh, he was kind of an idiot.
I mean, Donald, right? The character is not supposed to be the brightest guy.
Yes. He's what we would call the I would have joined, but.
Right. Definitely heard that before. My favorite is I would have joined, but I would have beat the drill sergeant up when he got in my face. Those tough guys, those are my favorites.
Yeah, totally. I can totally see anyone doing that.
Yeah.
Although, no, still now, even with how soft people talk about the military and boot camp being, I still don't think that would fly at all.
I couldn't tell you. Obviously, we just hear stories, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah. And then Yancy gets reinstated for his great work with Mendez.
Finally gets it back. Yes.
Does it last?
Yancy says something in the car to Ro that's pretty profound, and Ro's like, "You're absolutely right." I'm always doing the right thing. I just do it in the wrong way.
Pretty sure we mentioned that way at the beginning, too.
Yeah.
That was our take on him.
And so with that in mind and keeping true to the character, I don't foresee him keeping his badge very long, but what he does later in the episode with the winking, I thought was hilarious, so we'll get to that.
All right. We not finished with the first episode. So they end off with the random armed people.
The random armed people.
Armed people.
Oh.
His house.
Yes. So
we have
the dad shows up with Cody. And it's like, hey, someone left this at my house and it's getting really annoying, which I thought was hilarious. Way to walk in with them.
Oh, good, you're back.
The Badger is really good. Yeah, and then the episode kind of just ends, cliffhanger, with guys with AK-47s. We don't know who they are. It's very dark, kind of surrounding what looks like Yancy's house, but could be the neighbors. I'm not really sure. You can't really tell because they're all just walking. But, with it being focused on Yancy's house, I'm guessing they're surrounding that. So we'll see. Yeah. So episode 8.
Yep. The Russian mob is very active in Q.
The Russian mob. So that was something that Yancy called oh, no, it wasn't Yancy. It was the girl. Melanie, I think her name was. She called it really early on in the shirt shop. She goes, the owner of the shirt shop's connected with the Russian mob. He was like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. And then lo and behold, so episode opens with Yancy basically being like, I didn't expect you guys to be here, so you can either have celery or whatever I got in the fridge, basically nothing. And then Cody's like, I want a grilled cheese, and then the whole thing there. Rosa, I couldn't think of her name for a second, is like, I know you've got to go make it, and then all of a sudden bullets start flying. So what happens?
Bullets start flying.
What happens?
His friend shows up after a lot of gunshots and a lot of freaking damage. But it was cool how they were scared, but they also kind of knew how to work together, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. No, there's a couple of really surprising things that happened in that. One was the dad. The dad he's got to be ex-military. We don't know anything really about him. He's like this guy that speaks to animals and has this wisdom from the land. But the way Yancy called on him and he instantly went into action, almost like he's always got a plan. That was very military-esque to me. But we don't know anything about the dad yet.
And very calm under pressure.
Yeah. He was like, Dad, get him out the front. And he immediately was like, let's go. He was in it. And even when he was confronted with the big Russian guy, he was calm. He wasn't squirrely. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then ultimately it breaks the dude's face. And so that was really cool to see. And they were only really sent there to scare them, right? To shoot up the place and scare them. He wasn't sent to kill them. That wasn't their order. And so when he tells the Russians eventually get Yancy down, which was a pretty good fight for, fighting 3 guys. The third one eventually does get the gun to his head, so he gets him down. And then his buddy from the shop walks in, and then the whole thing dissolves, and he ends up shooting up the neighbor's house with the AK-47 and making everybody grilled cheeses. So,
Meanwhile, the dude is up there in the window, too. He's like, get down.
yeah, he's like, you might want to get down. Get out of the way. I'm not trying to kill you either, but I am going to return the favor in kind.
Yes, I thought that was that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then we have some other pieces, like we learned Dragon Queen's name, Gracie.
Gracie, yeah.
Yeah. And that's, I think I jumped the gun on that one for her doubting or coming out with, I don't even believe what we're doing thing.
Yeah.
I think I might have mixed that up just a little bit.
That's okay.
And she's getting a lot closer to Egg.
Yep. Egg is falling for her. She starts talking shit to him, and he's like, he stays and he waits, and the narrator's like, Egg would have left, but he realizes, Egg realized he was having feelings for her, otherwise he already would have left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we go to the yacht party.
The new yacht they just bought, so and then the cheapest con they've ever done for $1,000 on that political official there, and they were like bragging about how they should always do cons in third world countries or whatever.
Yeah, it's so much cheaper to bribe people.
Yeah.
That was really sad though, when you realize that that's probably the reality of things in other countries like that. You can bribe someone for a car payment.
Yeah, I mean, you could bribe someone for a car payment in America too, so. But,
yeah. But you wouldn't think a government official.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. You'd like to think that people who would be elected to represent a majority of the population in any world, any country, I wouldn't say world, we've only got one right now, go Mars. We'll get too soon.
Mars.
Would actually be able to like stand by the people and not be bought. Yeah, party, yes.
And the bribing officials.
Yep.
And Nick's watch gets stolen.
Ooh, yeah. So Gracie,
Can't help herself, can she?
well, I think all of Egg's wisdom, I would really call it, that he's been telling her every time they leave them, don't trust them, they're not your friends, like, why are you getting so chummy with them? I think she's aware of that, right? And so she's collecting an insurance policy. In her mind, I think the narrator even says it, which is kind of where I get the idea from,
I still tune him out.
is that she's getting paid and getting off that island either way. And so she takes the watch as an insurance policy. If they're not going to pay her and help her, then she's going to use that watch to get off the island.
Well, she even got called on that too. She's like, you're just like me. You'll do anything to have the life of your dreams.
Yeah, Eve calls her on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's normal for them anyway. Then she starts losing her relationship with Egg.
I think she's pushing him away, right? I don't think she feels like she deserves anything good right now. She's breaking her own moral code. You're watching her like unweave as she makes these decisions, which is why I think she told her yaya she doesn't believe in the magic and got rid of her, even though she knew it was going to hurt her heart to say that to her face. I think that's why she's being so mean to Egg. I think that's why she told Asia to go fuck off. I think she's just in that kind of downward spiral.
That's not good. She's going to have her pivotal moment to make the right choice.
Yeah. I think ultimately in her heart, though, she loves her island and she loves her people. So there's going to come that time, like you're saying, where there's going to be a moment where she chooses either the people or she does truly become evil.
Well, she even attempted to sell the idea of all that money to her grandma by saying, well, look, those poor people you liked helping, maybe they don't have to pay anymore.
And initially the grandma's into that.
Yes.
But she also thinks that it was a gift at that point in time. She doesn't realize that it was forged and stolen. And when she officially finds that out, that's when she's like, I don't know who you are.
But now she's just ready to leave the island.
Yeah.
And she's completely isolated. Yaya won't even talk to her, really.
Won't tell her where she is. Yeah.
Yeah. And then let's go back to Bonnie. She was taken to Oklahoma, but the DA won't prosecute.
DA won't prosecute, and the parents of the victim, Cody, just want the whole thing to go away. So they're just like, nope, we don't want anything to do with it. And then it turns out that the detective who's been pursuing Bonnie all this time has just been doing it because she wanted to. She wasn't even ordered to. There isn't even a case.
She wanted to earn her stripes. She wanted to show she could take initiative and get shit done. So she's hoping to be seen to little above of where she's at right now.
Yeah, I mean, in the sake of pursuing a criminal and doing your job, the detective did a great job. But at the same time, it's like all that trouble for Bonnie was because there was just one cop out there who had to stick up their ass about it. So it's pretty funny. Yeah.
So no charges. She was driven back to Florida by that cop, and that was a fun little scene. She's like all excited and just enjoying the company and the music.
The music. I made a playlist.
And after they go back to Florida, she goes and buys 20 cans of gas.
20 cans of gas. And the guy's like, what do you need that for? And she's like, this is the face of someone who's done talking.
That just said all that he needed to hear to say, no, nuh-uh.
Yeah, because he's like, do you have one of those things that people put gas in? He's like, a gas can? She's like, yeah, that. He's like, all right, go get you one. She's like, get 20.
And what'd she do with that gas can?
So we cut back to Yancy and Rosa, and they're officially ready to set out to Andros. And as they're getting ready to go on this cool little, I guess, mission, as they walk out the back door, the neighbor's house explodes. Turns out, in an awesome throwback action scene, we have Bonnie walking out of the flames and out of the darkness and into the light, but just crazier than ever. And she blew up the neighbor's house for Yancy, she says. She says she did it for him.
Yeah, what's that saying? Cool guys never look at the explosion when they walk away.
Yeah, total throwback to like that whole type of scene for sure. Rosa meets Bonnie for the first time, and it looks terrified of her, but Bonnie gives Yancy her approval.
Yeah, I think there's good reason for her to be terrified of her if she was on the wrong side of her.
Yeah, for sure. Bonnie's crazy.
Now we go back to Yancy. House shooting revealed to be ordered by neighbor.
Yeah.
Yep. Passed off Molly's boyfriend was behind the attack. He apologizes. That was a lot of fun. Yancy retaliates by shooting the neighbor's house. Talked about that. And starts to work with Neville to spy on the Strickland.
Yep. So Neville's sending him pictures, videos. I think it's just pictures at this point, and calls Nick. He thinks at this point the bad guys have won. He doesn't think the magic's worked. He thinks they basically have lost because the Stricklands are not being pursued by the FBI. They just bought a brand new yacht. They're having all this fun, and Neville's pissed.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but Neville was losing faith in Yancy too. Like thinking that he was kind of ignoring him or pushing him by the wayside around this stuff.
He is losing faith in him, but I think he's losing faith in the system, not Yancy himself, because Yancy is still very much in contact with him, but Yancy is also to the point where he can't do anything, which is what pushes him to go to Miami.
And then he goes undercover in the Bahamas with Rosa.
I don't think yet, do they?
Yeah.
He goes to Miami first, and he meets with the head of the FBI at her bench.
Was to lure Nick and Eve to Miami. That's why they go undercover.
Yeah, because if you remember, after he gets off the phone with Neville, basically Neville's starting to lose faith. And then Yancy is also starting to get pissed off because he's basically getting the runaround from the FBI. So we can't get extradition or blah, blah, blah. Like there's always something that they need more of or they have to continue doing before they can go to get them.
That's right. He bugs that one FBI agent.
So he goes to her lunch spot. And that's where
funny, you're outside your work building around lunchtime from someone who told me this is the bench you sit at.
Yeah. What is he called?
I forgot about that one.
Pomp and circumstance. He's like, it was pomp. But yeah, so he goes there and he talks to her and she's basically says the same thing they've been saying the whole time. But he's, in true Yancy fashion, not like leading her into believing one thing, but then also leaving it so vague that you don't know if he's joking or not, right? So he's like, I hear what you're saying. We won't go to the Bahamas and try to get them back. Like, we won't trick them into coming back to the United States. We won't pursue them in any way, like winking so heavy. And she's like, I'm just going to leave because like nothing good is going to come from this. Don't go. Listen to me. Don't do this thing. And he's like, I won't, like heavy winking. And then that's when him and Rosa come up with the idea to use Nick's daughter to set him up and get him to come basically set him up with this land idea or this investor in land who ends up being Rosa undercover, and that's why they go to the Bahamas undercover in that mission. But the daughter is the reason it gets set up. The daughter allows them to, like, basically initiates the deal and does the referral that allows them to go to Miami and start this sting operation.
Eve was very hesitant.
She knew right away that something was wrong. She does not like the daughter at all. Wants the daughter completely gone. She's competition for her man's attention.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking around that too. That's where all the hate came from, is she's not always the center of attention.
Yeah, and she needs to be.
Yep, hence why she wants to be a movie star. So there's a hurricane.
Hurricane coming.
Yes. There's a hurricane coming, and that's where they left off with the cliffhanger. There's a photo of Yancy and Rosa in a bar where Nick and Eve visited. Gracie attempted to leave the island, but she got stuck, and the neighbors' financial troubles are escalating.
Yeah. So Neville lets Yancy know that basically Nick and Eve never leave their compound. They're always they basically exclude themselves from the locals. They think they're better than them, so they don't ever associate with them. So Yancy takes that as an idea, like, hey, why don't we go out and actually get some food and drinks and not just stay in this hotel all night. So they go out to the local hot spot, and that's where they meet the pilot that doesn't shut the fuck up.
That's awesome. I love
great
it.
character, yeah. But he's like, if you wanted someone involved in a smuggling or illegal operation of any kind, you probably don't want that guy involved.
No,
because he's gonna tell everybody. But yeah, so
he was talking about the drug running. He's like, you probably shouldn't be saying that.
Yeah, he doesn't want to shut up, that guy, and he thinks anybody who wants to talk to him is his best friend. So
yep.
It's not a good combination. But yeah, so they end up hitting it off with him and picking his brain all night because they obviously want to. They know now that he's connected, and so they want to, pick his brain and get close to him. And they take a picture with him, which that picture will, like you said, come back to haunt them later. At the same time, Yancy meets the Dragon Queen for the first time over breakfast. They don't know who each other are yet, but their paths are weaving. She has the watch, which immediately grabs Yancy's attention, and Yancy's like, "Oh, interesting watch you got there." And it starts the conversation, and she's like, "Yeah, I stole it from a bad man." I won't give her name, and then all of a sudden disappears. She's gone. But yeah, her intention is to get off that island. She's trying to get off the island. There, Rosa has a successful first meeting with Nick and Eve, but says that she needs to go back to Miami to get the investment and get things sorted. But if they want to come to Miami and get the money, they can, right? So they're trying to lure them to Miami. And then, as you mentioned, everything goes to shit for everybody because a huge hurricane, Hurricane Mel, which is Hurricane Mel, brought to you by Mel. Or Hurricane Mel Mel's the name of her sister.
Yeah, she ended up getting her catchphrase from that.
Yeah. And so the Stricklands are now actually going out to the bar because a hurricane's coming, and apparently it's a tradition when a hurricane's coming on an island for everyone to go get drunk or something, so that's what they're going to do. And she wants real conch fritters, I think that's what they're going, and not whatever fake shit that he was putting at his restaurant and resort. So they go there. They kind of zoom in on the photo, so we don't know whether or not she ever notices it. But she's standing right in front of the photo of Yancy, Rosa, and the pilot right there on the bar wall. Dragon Queen gets grounded, so she can't leave because of the storm. Yancy and Rosa get grounded. They can't leave because of the storm. And Eve and Nick are now at the bar because of the storm. So because of the storm, everyone's plans are screwed. And also,
yeah, we're going to find out a whole bunch of stuff in the next episode. And all this stuff is just piling up so quickly. Everything is being spit at you rapid fire. And everything's just moved up in pace.
Oh, yeah.
So much.
These last two episodes are rapid, like you said, rapid fire. Compared to the first four, where we're laying storylines, we're weaving things, we're going back in time. Now it's picking up in action. Now we're in the plot. Things are moving. The blood is quickening.
I wonder if they get a second season for this.
I hope so far.
Would it stick to the same theme of slow build to rapid fire, or do you think it's just going to be intense moving forward because we've already got the characters, story arcs built up? I think they'd have to start all over again.
Well, they'd have to, whatever the new villains would be or the next arc would be, we'd have to get backstory for that too. Because, I don't know. But we'll find out in these last two episodes, right? We got 9 and 10 ahead of us. We'll review those, drop those, share those with everybody as well.
I feel like this is more like the misfit adventures of Yancy.
And I'm in for it. I'm enjoying it. These are great characters.
I didn't think I was going to like this. We're at a point now where I can safely say I would suggest anyone watch this.
Yeah, it's a good series. If you enjoy laughing, if you like, it's comedical for sure.
I can't wait for the last episodes.
Yeah,
it's going to be bittersweet because then we got to wait again.
Yeah. But we got other cool stuff to review and check out. Matter of fact, guys, let us know down in the comments if you guys are enjoying this content, but there's maybe some other show you really enjoy that you'd love us to check out as well, or another show you'd like to see us review. Let us know down below. Sometimes Liam will have me check out something I'm not necessarily into, and we'll all really like it, and vice versa. So maybe you guys could do the same. Let us know.
This is one of those examples. Chris wanted me to watch this, and I wanted nothing to do with it.
Yeah, and here we are, reviewing it. And I just want to say real quick, thank you guys. You know, this last month on YouTube has been absolutely phenomenal. We've grown exponentially.
1,200 new subscribers in the last 30 days.
1,200 new subscribers in the last 30 days. And every single video we've put out in the last little bit over a month now, definitely everything we've done for Bad Monkey has gotten over 1,500 views. So, like, thank you guys so much for checking it out, being a part of this. Thank you guys for commenting and engaging and subscribing. You know, it means the world to us to get to do cool stuff like this. Like, we enjoy movies, we enjoy talking about it, it's fun, and we're just so thankful and grateful that you guys are enjoying it too. So thank you guys so much. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do it. We drop a new video every single week. If you guys enjoyed this as well, just like, go ahead and check out this here series. We reviewed all of Rings of Power Season 2. Everyone really enjoyed it. It's one of our top viewed series. We also have another playlist down here of all of our Netflix series that we reviewed. A lot of really great stuff on there. You can check it out as well. And if you have not subscribed, go ahead and do so. My name is Chris, and as always with me,
Bye.
His name is Bye now.
Find the strength hiding in each battle scar. You're not who you were. You've already come far.